Thanks for watching and listening. Today, my daily nugget is really about deception, status, ego, or fear. Over the last couple of days, I've been really looking around for a car, and toiling in my head about a good investment, and just thinking about getting this new car. But today it feels like if you want to get some reliable transport, you can't avoid to get into debt. You know, but having a new car makes it feel so good and it makes it feel so pleasant. But is it really that good when you're getting yourself into debt? Is it really that good being bound in a 60 month payment, 72-month payment? Is it really that great? And buying this car, you get caught up with so many things that goes through your head, and these things have been going through my head. I've been thinking about the color of the car. I've been thinking about what will people say when I'm in the car. It all affects the decision about the actual car. What type of car you have, and what will it project about you. All of the bells and whistles, that actually has nothing to do with the transportation as such. And when I was thinking about this and just reflecting on what was going through my mind, I started realizing, uh, what we have to watch for is that we are not being deceived. If we're looking for transportation, and we should. Now, don't misunderstand me. I really love cars. I do. I am so tempted by cars all the time, but the reality of the matter is I need to be careful about whether I'm not being deceived or not. And this I'm realizing that what is anchored in deception is these two powerful emotions, and there may be many others, but two powerful emotions is activated in deception. It's ego or fear. And these emotions, man, they drive you into making decisions that drives you away from the actual core decision that you wanted to make, like getting proper transportation. You either buying because you're afraid of getting stuck, or having a breakdown, and you're afraid of that, and then you think you'll have no hassles as if there's guarantees on the new car. um, or you buy it because you want to feel respected, or you want to feel like you've made it, or you're driving the new Ferrari. You're buying it for all those reasons, and if you do own them, you should own them, and I should own a Bentley. But I just want to make sure that we don't own them for the wrong reasons. We must own them because we understand why we have them. And so my encouragement to you is, don't be deceived. Whenever you are thinking about whatever you're doing and wherever you're going, the job you have, the clothes you wear, just ask yourself, are you driven by ego or fear? And it doesn't mean that everything that you do because of fear or ego, or have something that is a status symbol, all of it is wrong. If it's fit for the right purpose, for influence, for progression, then you should be having it. Our fresh daily manna from heaven comes from the book of James, chapter 1, verses 16 to 18. Now, James starts off this portion of scripture in a very nice way. He says, don't be deceived. And then, deception is really projecting something that is not true as if it's true, and believing something as if it's true. That's when you're being deceived. You're being told that the thing can do what it's supposed to do, but it actually doesn't do that. Then you're being deceived. But then he goes on and he says, all good and perfect gifts comes from above. So I would think that when he says, don't be deceived, he's now going to tell us what is the truth. And this is the truth that he's starting to talk about. He says, all good and perfect gifts comes from above. Good means meeting the standard. Perfect means being flawless, and he says it comes from above. It comes from God, the Father of lights. And then he also says in the later portion of this portions of scripture, he says that God by his own will had begotten us to be of his kind. Now listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. This is what my reflection is that firstly, James gives us the fact. He gives us the origin of gifts. He gives us the definition of gifts. He gives us the location of gifts. He says that good and perfect gifts are located in heaven. He tells us that God the Father distributes these gifts. That means all you and I ought to do is to ask God for these gifts, and these gifts are freely available. If it's a gift, then it can't be purchased, then it's freely available. And now this interesting part that says God the Father of lights. Why would he call God the Father of lights? And this, the Father of lights, is only found in James. And I think that he's referring back to the book of Genesis chapter 1 verses 3 and Genesis chapter 1 verses 15 and 16. You know what is remarkable about the Father of lights? Is that God spoke light into existence. Light did not come by by the sun and the moon and the stars. In fact, he spoke light into existence under the spoken light. And I want you to get it. Under the spoken light, he created the grass. He separated the waters. He created the fruit trees. He separated light and darkness under the spoken light. Only on the fourth day does he create the sun, the moon, and the stars. And in fact, when he creates the sun, moon, and stars by the spoken word, you know what happens? They come lit up. They're already lit up. That means God is the Father of light. And so I want you to know that where there's darkness, there is confusion and there is deception. But where there's light, there's clarity. So I want to encourage you that you pursue this with God and know that he has adopted you and he has accepted you as his kind, not as a creation, but as his kind, as a creature of his kind. That means God accepts us like he is. And so my call to action, my point of reflection for you today is that don't be deceived. Be careful about what you're thinking about and be clear about why you're doing what you're doing. Check whether there's status, fear, or ego, and then just don't be deceived. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. You can check us out on YouTube. You can also check us out on Instagram and Twitter. I'm so glad to be speaking to you. If you really love it, give us a thumbs up. If you really like it, give us a nice red heart. I pray that you will have a blessed day and that you would walk in the wisdom and insight of God. God bless you.